I love the fact that there's so much to do on this truck. I kid. But no, actually, it's not that bad. When you get mad at one side of it, you can come over and work on something else. So, here we are again. In the front end, I'm going to work on this. See how that bag is bent the way it is? There's no way it will be able to reach up in there. Okay, the problem with that is when it's fully expanded out and aired all the way up, it's making such a hard turn. I'd rather have that look more like Pac-Man when it's closed, pinched on the inside and open on the backside, so then that way it's not under pressure when it's bent. So that means these bottom bag mounts, see if I get a good shot of these. The bottom bag mounts are angled at a really weird direction. And I want to flatten these out. That way when it's fully aired up and riding down the road, that bag is as straight up and down as possible. It'll give a better ride. You stand less of a chance of the seals blowing out at the bottom. The center won't belly out and look weird. So that's the goal here, is to get this lower control arm off, get the bag off, cut this bar in the back, probably have to trim this up in the front, angle that down flat, and then weld it back in. So now I got to pull apart everything that I had. I knew I was going to be doing this. I told you guys. So now it's time, because everything else is pissing me off. And then I'm just going to go in from the top. I'm going to get that first bolt off the top, like I said. I already got the other side off. There we go. See, it's perfect. Got that nut off. I don't know where the nut went. That releases the bag. I'll go ahead and put this on here. This goes to the bottom nut. That scared the hell out of me. You ever do that? Okay. And that takes the bottom bolt off the bag. So then that way, the bag is completely released. I won't need that again. Pull this out. And then I've got, right now I've got that rubber airline on there. So I've got a hose clamp on that. So I'll loosen the hose clamp. And then we'll take the screwdriver and we'll stick it into the edge of the hose. So we can try to stretch it off of there. There we go. It's about to come off now. At least I say that. There. All right, got the bag off. Set this over here. I always put all my bolts back on everything. Now, while I'm doing this, I'm realizing these are 2,500 bags. That's why it's taking so much pressure to pick it up off the ground. The bigger your bag, the less pressure. Now, let me show you something. Because of the way it was sitting, see how that's pinched up? That's not a relaxed bag. And that's because of the hard position it was in, turning like that to be able to get in there. So, that's another reason we're doing this, is to make it better. See, I put that on there. That also protects the threads so that you don't ruin them by accidentally dropping it and fall sideways or something along that lines. Now, I've got my needle nose right here. There's a castle nut on the bottom right here. Help you pull it a little bit harder. There. Okay, that's off. And yes, I'm going to use one of these adjustables to be able to get the castle nut off, because usually castle nuts are on there, but I don't want to have to go and get a socket. There we go. Get that to break off. So I'm just gonna go like that, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my hammer and I'm just gonna tap the bottom of this. Until it pops out, but I'm not hitting it hard. You hit that too hard and you'll mushroom it out and you won't be able to get that nut back on there. If you can't get that nut back on there, you're screwed. Okay. This is just so I can get this down. I'm trying to get some of this off here. If it falls, it won't fall to the ground anyway. Lower control arm. Not loose. That's why you gotta be careful where fit this in here. That'll hold much better. Hurt my thumb. I like smashed the bone right there. You know how one side to the other side, you get all excited. One side is working great and coming apart real easy. Beautiful. There we go. Let's see if I can get this other side. All right. Sorry about that. I got these bolts off of there. The camera had stopped. Now I'm faced with a new problem. My wife just got out here and she don't know what the hell is going on. I don't even want to tell her. It's not good. This front cross member that holds all this together has been drug over and over and over again so hard that it is bent to freaking shit.
Oh, so we're going to have to replace every cross member on this truck?
I'm not building a front cross member.
Oh.
Nope. I don't know. I might be able to rebuild just a little bit of it, but you got me fucked up on that. This is why you don't drag your fucking truck. That's why you don't drag vital components that you need for being able to go down the road.
You drag block.
Oh, okay. Yeah, drag blocks. That's fine. Okay. I gotta show you guys this shit. I don't even want to show you. I really don't. I want to pause it real quick. All right, here we go. This is supposed to be a really thicker plate than that. And it's really thin. But on top of that, it's gone. It's cracked all the way across because it's been drugged so hard. This is what's holding the lower control arm, so it's bent to shit. There's nothing here because this is all just metal that's been bent to shit. So this all has to come back into place. A new plate needs to be welded onto the bottom here. Hell, look at the back side of it. It's not even connected anymore. And it's been flared and bent out because of how much it's been drug across stuff and hitting stuff and being cool. Well, let me continue on with what I need to do over here with fixing these bag mounts. All right, let's get back to it. Remember, we're going to go ahead and fix that. So first things first, I got to get under there and cut the old one out and get it prepped and ready to... Remember? I don't know if anybody remembers, but it was like 5 years ago, I had bought some steel. I had bought... it was actually when I had the four-wheelers, and I bought that piece that's right in there and built the winch out of it. This is a 1/4 inch thick, so I'm going to use that. I need to cut that in a minute. I am going to get around to these eventually, but I got to do that first, and then I can do this. I'm going to go ahead and trim it down about as good as I can and clean it up. Yeah, so let's get to that. I'm wearing my glasses. I don't care. People yelling at me for not wearing safety glasses. Don't glasses count? All right. Got the welder set up already. Let me show you what I did here. Got to be a plate, 5 inches by, I believe it was 18 inches. I left extra on there. The reason being is because I'm going to use it to be able to weld on the ledge. But then whatever I don't need, I can cut and grind it off and make it look good. If I need to cut more out of this, I can always cut into that, you know, at a circle to allow the suspension to move better. But there's the plate. It's on there and ready. I want to tack it into place. Let me get it on this side so you can see what it looks like here. I've got it right on that edge so that I can weld it all back together. I can get that. And then what I did, I've got this piece of wood right here. This is how big the bushing is, which was 3 1/4 inches wide. So I'm going to be able to I use this to make sure that the spaces are still where they're supposed to be. And I've got them all bent back into place. So now comes the next step, is tacking this into place, and then I can get the jack out of the way and weld it the rest of the way in. All right, before I show you guys the finished product, I just want you guys to understand that I am a grinder. I am not a welder. There's my welder. It melts shit around, and that makes it look better. So, I'm not a professional, but here we go. Let's look at that plate. How's that look? I know, it's not perfect. I could probably weld better. But I'm still learning how to weld with a big welder. So for now, I've got actually a solid plate underneath there again. Or my wife does. This is my wife's truck. I keep forgetting to say that. Here, let's hang this over here. And there's the front side. Right there. What do you think? It'll work. And now I have a new cross member bottom plate. Oh. All right, let's get up there and see if we can cut on those lower control arms. All right, so what I'm doing, because see, remember it was in there, and when we looked at it from the front, it was angled out too far, so we want it to bend down, so then that way it's straight up and down when it's all the way down. So there was a piece of metal right here, and it was tack welded. Well, actually, I mean, it was welded in right here, and then it's welded in behind this. And then when I got the two pieces out, this piece right here was welded to the edge, and then this piece was welded to the inside of this. And then all he did was he set it down in place and then welded it to this piece right here. And that's how this is mounted in there. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this on the ground, and I'm going to try and beat it to bend this down into there and then get it and then weld it back in place. Oh. See, now I put the castle nut back on the end of that because I don't want to mess up my threads. And we're going to set this here. And we're just going to angle it back down like that. Boom! Now all we got to do is finish welded it in here. And that bag mount, to me, is where it needs to be now. Yes! Cheerleaders over here. All right. So I went ahead and got these welded back together. I put a weld there. And then I welded that in right there and right there. And the same thing on this. I did 3 points. So now these are both sitting more evenly, and I'm positive that the bag is going to have a better stroke up and down. Oh, okay, so last thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and mount them on the truck. I'm not going to put the bags back in just yet because I can do that after we get the new fittings and airline for it. Then I can go ahead and throw the bags up in there. So I may end up putting one in there just to kind of see which way it's angling now. So, all right, I'm gonna get that done. All right, that's not exactly where you'll be riding, where my wife will be riding at. Probably be a little bit lower than that. But let's go ahead and take a look at this. That bag is gonna ride a whole lot nicer now. I may do just a couple last minute adjustments for when it's all the way laid out. I may have overthought it and angled it a little too far this way. So I may bring it up just about an inch on the inside. But that's gonna ride a whole lot better, like I said. Because now it's not bent when it's aired up. Because before it didn't look right. All right, that's it. I'm tired. We got to put this stuff away. It is Sunday night. We can mark a couple things off the list. I'll tell you about the list midweek. But you guys be good. Make sure you know what you're looking at. Because I guess I sure damn didn't know what the fuck I was looking at when I bought this truck. But you know what? If I hadn't bought this truck, I wouldn't be able to be making these videos right now, showing you guys stuff that's wrong, what to fix, how to fix it. So I guess in the end, it's worth it, but it sucks ass. Right? Yeah. All right, everybody. See you guys later. Yeah, we got to do that now, huh? So, freaks. And, right? You're still getting used to it too, huh? We'll see you do it. It doesn't feel natural yet, huh? Oh, it's exciting, but it doesn't feel natural yet. So we'll get used to it. I'm fucked up my thumb. But yeah, comment, thumbs up, whatever. Let's go do some shit.